The Yarlung Zangbo River, also known as the Great Bend, takes a spectacular U-turn that redirects its course towards India and Bangladesh, where this river is called the Brahmaputra. While the river may be known by different names in India, China has been primarily focused on this U-turn for several years. This is not just any U-turn, but one that could potentially lead to future conflicts in the region. Welcome back to Jam TV videos, viewers. This section of the Yarlung Zangbo River is enveloped by the highest mountains of the Himalayas, and it is also referred to as the Yarlung Zangbo Grand Canyon. The canyon stretches over 505 kilometers, making it 50 kilometers longer and 3 times deeper than Arizona's Grand Canyon. A canyon, by definition, is a valley through which water flows. Capitalizing on the benefits of this valley, China has decided to build the world's most powerful dam right here in this remote location. For the past 20 years, China's focus has been on this U-turn, particularly due to its slope. At this location, the river flows alongside a 7,000-meter high mountain, taking a U-turn and returning along the other side of the mountain. The interesting part is that at this location, the river's height is 2,870 meters, but after the U-turn, it drops to just 870 meters, creating a slope of about 2,000 meters. In the west, the river flows at 2,870 meters, but after covering a short distance, it descends by 2,000 meters. Chinese experts have proposed several plans for constructing a dam here, one of which involves digging a tunnel through the 7,000-meter high mountain to build a hydropower station. Since the river flows at a height of 2,870 meters in the west, if its flow is blocked and diverted through a tunnel inside the mountain, discharging into the river flowing on the eastern side, this project is estimated to generate 60 gigawatts of electricity. This would be 3 times more power than what is produced by the world's largest Three Gorges Dam. The project has been named the Mochuo Hydropower Station, with the tunnel length estimated to be around 40 to 50 kilometers. Multiple turbines could be installed within this tunnel. Unlike conventional dams that require large amounts of water to be stored, this dam will need less effort because the high mountains on both sides naturally form the walls of the dam. Only a single wall would need to be constructed to block the water flow. If turbines were installed near this wall and water was allowed to fall to the other side, the drop would only be 200 meters, which would generate less force and ultimately less electricity. Therefore, by digging a tunnel 40 to 50 kilometers long and dropping the water 2,000 meters to this location, it could create significant energy. Just to give you an idea, the wall of the Three Gorges Dam is 180 meters high, and it remains the largest. Since this is a dam designed to generate electricity, water will fall as much as 2,000 meters. While there are benefits, there are also numerous challenges. Experts believe that China may face significant difficulties in constructing this project. First of all, the location is in a remote part of Tibet, where there is no proper road network. How the machinery, including cranes, will be transported is a major concern. Although transporting cranes may not be such a big issue, getting a 6,000-ton, 150-meter long tunnel boring machine to this high-altitude region could be a tough task for engineers. It's worth noting that the tunnel being bored here will be similar in size to the one that connects France and the UK, known as the Channel Tunnel. That project took a total of 6 years and cost more than £6 billion, back in 1988. Based on today's estimates, if China proceeds with building the world's largest hydropower station, just boring the tunnel could cost between $30 and $40 billion. Yes, 34 trillion rupees, and this doesn't include the cost of turbines. Since thousands of cubic meters of water will pass through this tunnel, it is essential to reinforce the tunnel walls with concrete and steel molds. All this will only happen if everything goes according to plan. But if you're unaware, let me tell you that this location lies right on top of a fault line, where the Indian and Eurasian plates meet. This is the very spot that was the epicenter of one of the deadliest earthquakes in 1950, just 200 kilometers away in Assam, India, with a magnitude of 8.5. From 1901 until today, over 4,000 small and large earthquakes have been recorded across the Himalayas. Experts believe that dams taller than 100 meters that sit on fault lines are at significant risk, especially with magnitudes of 6 or higher. Additionally, the area where the Mochuo hydropower station has been proposed is also prone to deadly landslides. In 2021, a landslide blocked a section of the Yarlung Zangbo River, forcing the water to change its course. In the same region, landslides in the Indian Himalayas triggered flash floods, resulting in loss of life and damage to 2 hydropower stations. Along with these challenges, if China wants to build the world's largest hydropower station, it would also need to. As you can see, the section of the Yarlung Zangbo River that flows downstream after the dam enters the Indian state of Arunachal Pradesh shortly after. This is the Indian state that China claims as its own, and this territorial dispute has led to several clashes between India and China. Since the 1960s, there have been numerous conflicts between India and China over this disputed area. Recently, in 2020, there was a skirmish between Indian and Chinese soldiers in the Galwan Valley, which resulted in the death of a soldier. The point is that tensions in this region are already high, and constructing the world's largest dam just 50 kilometers away from the disputed border could be extremely risky. Both India and China are nuclear powers, and building a dam here would give China complete control over the water flowing into India and Bangladesh, which China could potentially use as a strategic weapon. In summary, the Mochuo hydropower station is not only dangerous for the environment, but it could also ignite new conflicts in the region. So why is this project so important to China? China is the second largest country in the world by population, but its electricity consumption is immense due to the numerous factories that form the backbone of its growing economy, which China cannot afford to slow down. To meet its electricity demands, China has already built over 98,000 hydropower dams across the country. However, 70% of China's electricity is still generated from fossil fuels. China's vision is to control carbon emissions by 2060 because, as we all know, the end of fossil fuels is not far off. If China does not reduce its dependence on fossil fuels by 2060, it could lose its global standing. The Mochuo hydropower station, which is expected to generate 60 gigawatts of electricity, is like a lifeline for China, though it barely makes a dent in China's consumption of 780 million gigawatts. Experts believe that if China wants to reduce its reliance on fossil fuels, it must invest not only in dams but also in other green energy sources to meet its growing demands. We hope you enjoyed this video, and please like and share it. A big thank you for your supportive comments. We'll see you in the next exciting video.